Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. Welcome to today's Testimony Thursday. I am your featured host, Ronette Turner Corley, and I'm so excited to be sharing this information with you. We have a phenomenal guest to be able to bring on so you can hear her story and how amazing it is and how amazing she is. Okay. So before I get started, I want you to let you know we're going to be talking about a lot of money, a lot of it. Okay. But I want you to know here's the income disclaimer. Please note that the results mentioned will vary from person to person. Your individual success is dependent on your efforts, consistency, and commitment. And I want you to know everyone I bring on here to tell their testimony are putting in the efforts, they're consistent, and they're committed, and they're making money. Okay. So everyone that comes on this show, I make sure that their success is definitely success that you can model so that you can have the same results if you put in that same effort, consistency, and commitment. But I am excited. Okay, so before we get started, I want to, once again, this is If You Can Write, You Can Win, episode 12. So we are getting up there, right? We've been doing this from the beginning of the year. We're getting up there and things are happening. Before I go into and introduce our featured guest, what I would like to do is make sure that you understand this platform allows you to write to billion-dollar corporations. And when you do that, you can get paid. But here's what I want you to know. There are some states, because it is government regulated, there are some states that have decided to not participate. And I want to tell you what the what states have decided to do that. So if you reside in Washington State, Idaho, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Connecticut, and if you're in Canada, the province of Quebec, unfortunately, this writing gig, you cannot do that in those areas. Once again, this is for the United States and Canada, but it does exclude those areas I just mentioned. But if you fall outside of those areas, guess what? You can write, you can win. So I am excited because we have someone who has been doing this for, a number of months and very successful at what she's doing. And we're excited today because guess what? We all got deposits today. We got what we call drops today, right? And she's going to tell her story as well as tell, what it feels like to get a drop. And you're going to see it firsthand here. So I want to welcome to Testimony Thursday, Miss Stacy Cronin Farina. Hey Stacy, how you doing?
Hi, Ronette. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm enjoying it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm excited because I just mentioned we just got drops today.
Oh my gosh. There is nothing better than waking up in the morning to boop, a drop in your account. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
it is. You never know when it's going to happen. So you get up in the morning and you look, and there it is. It's exciting.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow. So, for all of you who are watching right now, a drop basically means a deposit for your efforts of writing letters, and these billion-dollar corporations drop these deposits into your account. So, before we go into that, let's go ahead and find out who Stacy is. Tell us more about yourself.
Yes, Renat. I'm a mother of three adult children. I've had a couple of careers in my life in the corporate world. I was built my way up from the bottom in banking, and then I stayed home with my kids for a little while. And my second career was in the dental business, and I was a dental office manager. Um, COVID kind of changed everything, and it became increasingly more difficult for a lot of different reasons. So I had right before, I started with Send It last November, and there was a conference coming up. No, I'm sorry. I started in July. The conference was in November. And when I went to the conference, I said to my husband, I said, can I just stay home and do this? Like, I want to go all in. And the conference theme and our theme was sort of faith over fear. So I came home and I gave my 2 weeks notice and I just hit the ground running. And I know they don't really recommend that, but my husband's in the position where it was okay. And we just did it. And I built a team. I was getting people on the plane that were
Wow.
signing up from the convention last November. So it was
Wow.
incredible. Yeah.
So you started this platform at the very beginning.
Yes. So yeah, so I believe it started in January. I started July, so it was
Okay,
still
so
pretty
July.
new. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So
Yep.
pretty new, kind of like right in the middle of them launching.
Yes, yes. And
Wow.
yeah, I ended up a friend of mine who I had done some other different ventures with was doing it, and I was watching her for like months. And
Right.
finally, I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And so I
Yes.
knew that she wouldn't steer me wrong, and I'm like, "All right, I want in." So I
Yes.
started, and when we went to the convention, I hadn't had a drop yet, didn't know anything, and I wanted to kind of meet the people behind the program. And boy, am I glad I did. They are the most amazing,
Yes.
caring group of people I've ever been involved with.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Very
Mhm.
amazing people and really have a heart for the people. That's what I absolutely love.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, so genuine, so giving. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just amazing people.
Yes. Okay. So here's what I want to know because here's what you said. You said when you first saw your friend, you saw what
Uh-huh.
she was doing. Now, how long did it take you before you actually said, okay, I'm going to ask her what she's doing?
Unfortunately, it took me too long.
Okay.
So I waited about 2 months and I just
Okay.
kept watching and watching. And then once I got my first drop, and I didn't actually start even telling people about it because even though I knew it was going to happen, it almost seemed too good to be true. But I'm like, I'm going to just get my drop and then I'm going to start promoting or telling people about it.
Right.
And I'm so upset that I didn't start sooner. But
Mhm.
I all I can say is, just keep moving forward and go for it.
Yeah, you had to
So,
believe, build your belief. But let's go back
oh,
to the mindset. And the reason why I want to do this because there's some people just like you, right?
hmm,
There's some people who are watching. They're
yeah,
sitting on the sidelines, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what was when you were watching her? What was your initial thought of like, okay, what she's doing? You didn't know, but what was your initial thought?
So, well, I mean, my initial thought was, what do you mean you're writing to companies and
Yeah,
and getting paid for it? I'm like, what do you have to write? Like, what do you have to do? But when I found out how simple it was and how small the writing is, it's two sentences.
right,
And I said, I'm in, let me do it. And the investment is so minute that I thought, what have I got to lose?
right,
So
right,
I just jumped all in it, and I knew, because I knew her, I knew, she wasn't going to steer me in a direction that
correct,
wasn't.
correct.
She's like, I've paid off all of my debt, and my husband keeps going, what
Wow.
are you going to do with the rest of your money? So they go on vacation. Yeah. So to hear that from somebody that I know legitimately, I was like, wow, you paid off all your debt and now you don't know what to do with your money just by writing letters. And she works full time. So it was pretty wild.
Nice. That's nice. So
Yeah.
then, okay, then you go ahead and get involved,
Yeah.
and you already know because once we all know it's no secret, there is a window of time. I like to call it building up your pipeline or priming the
Yes.
pump that you
Uh
have
huh.
to do before you actually start seeing it come in
Yes.
consistently, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you believed enough to get started. How was your faith during that waiting period?
I completely had faith. Once I joined the Facebook group and got to know what was going
Yes.
on, and then actually the conference in November really solidified it. I said,
Yeah.
you know what? I have no doubt that it's coming. I have no doubt that this is real.
Mhm.
It was the anticipation of getting it. I couldn't wait for it. So every
Right.
day, you'd get on and look, and then the first drop, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and my advice would be if anybody that joins it, don't stop writing until you get a drop because it's going to happen and then you
That's
don't
right.
want that gap. But it's the best feeling in the world when you wake up to a drop in your account.
Absolutely. So you went to the convention,
Yeah.
you got so excited, and you were sold out at that point
Mhm.
that you came home. And like you said, it's not recommended. And everybody has their own situation.
Right,
So you
right.
have to do things according to what you can do per your situation. So we're
Exactly.
not promoting quit your job
Right.
or anything like that.
No,
But
they
you know
actually
what?
say don't, but
Yeah, but what I love about it is that's your story. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's your
Right.
story.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you got so excited and you were in position because like you said, your husband, supported you
Right.
and he can handle the thing. So tell me,
Right.
when you got back, you were so like Let's go. You were fired up. Tell me about that time.
It was so crazy. I mean, my initial reaction was, oh my gosh, I can get out of corporate America. I can sit home and hang out with my dogs and write letters and meet new people and not have to worry about the stress of the 8 to 5 type of thing. I was just very, very stressed out, and I've always been a people person.
Yeah.
And things were starting to change with me. I was becoming a little more not myself because of, the different stressors. So it was just like the weight of the world lifted off of me, and I was just so excited to be able to just build and just hit the ground running with it. It was amazing.
Nice. Nice. So in the beginning, how many letters did you start writing initially?
So because I gave up a substantial income,
Yes.
even though my husband was able to, kind of float things for a little while with our faith over fear motto,
Absolutely.
I sat down and I said I was doing 60 letters a day.
Hmm.
So I was, so I did 60 every day, Monday through Friday. I took the weekend off.
Okay.
Or at least that was my goal. If I didn't get that during the week, I would do it on Saturday or Sunday. But I was sending out, an average of 60 a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you, because I know still, a lot of times we hear the word work from home and we still have a life.
Right.
Right. So did you work certain hours or carve out time? How did you structure that?
So I did. It was sort of trial and error, but because I was trying to, make my income that I was giving up, at first I did, it takes about 5 minutes a letter. So at first I was doing it was about 6 hours to do 60. It depended if I got sidetracked or whatever.
Right.
But so I was doing 6 hours straight, and then I was trial and error. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to do 2 hours, take a break, go do something, go put in a load of laundry or run to the store. And then I'd come back and I'd put in 2 more hours. And then, so I broke it up into 2 hour increments. We have lives too. And I wanted to be able to take advantage of being able to be home and have some flexibility. If something came up, my mother was actually in the hospital shortly after that happened. And I brought my letters up and I just wrote away while I was waiting for that. And it worked out really well.
Nice. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So then all of a sudden you get your first drop because we know it takes, well, first of all, how long did it take you? Because I know generally say 8 to, 12 weeks. How long did it take you?
It was right around the 10 and 11 week mark. So that was, but I knew it, I knew it was coming and I just waited. And, once the drops come, then they're a little more consistent once you're through the system. So
yes,
I anticipated having to wait at least 12 weeks and that's what ended up, it was fine. I think it was 10 or 11 weeks.
Okay. And just so we know, because we have people watching this from all over, where are you located in the country?
I'm in upstate New York.
Okay.
So yep, Rochester. Yeah.
Nice. So it took you about almost 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And I know the first drop is always the smallest one, but still, what was your first, do you remember what your first drop was?
I believe my first drop was somewhere around $900.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did start out slow in the beginning, in the very first, I started out a little slower, and then I went to the 60 right away, and I mean, now they're in the thousands, the drops that come in. It's wow.
Yes.
You wake up and you see $1,000 or more in your bed, and you're like, whoa. So that's really, really exciting to see that.
Absolutely. So that is really nice. And let me ask you, what are you now just on average doing per month when it comes to letter writing?
The number of letters or the dollar amount?
Or either, both.
So if I'm consistently writing my 60 a day, it's roughly 300 a day that I'm making. So 1,500 a week times 4 is about $6,000 a month.
Yeah. From home. Doing what you want.
Right.
No stressors.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And the thing that I really liked about it in the beginning was it's not like you have to recruit anyone. I mean, it's amazing to tell people about the opportunity, but you don't have to. So your income's based on what you do, not what anyone else does. It's just whatever you want to do. You set a budget, and if I want to make X amount of dollars, I found people under my team now will say, I'm going to go on vacation next year and I need $5,000. So I'm going to write X amount of letters, and you just kind of do it that way. People do it all different ways, but it's just a matter of what you need, and you don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to, but
Isn't that nice?
it is, except then you find yourself wanting to because it's so exciting. You wanted to
Yes.
share the opportunity with other people.
Yes, absolutely. It's so exciting. I mean, today we got drops in everybody like that we have introduced on the team who've been, part of our team for years. But really what was nice, I think the most heartfelt one was my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She got $500.
It's amazing. My mother-in-law is doing it as well. And
Wow.
she's like, wow, on a fixed income, they're like, this is awesome.
Yes. Isn't that
And it's
nice?
fun.
It's fun.
It is.
Especially to be able to bring that value, because a lot of things that we've done in the past, she not only would not want to do it, she wouldn't be able really to do it, right?
Right.
And to be able to see her win here amongst a lot of everyone else, it feels good.
It is so amazing. It
Yeah.
really is. It's sometimes I feel like the feeling is just indescribable. It really is crazy.
Yeah. And you just came back from this current convention.
I did. It was so they are such a giving company. They've given away a car at both conventions, which is amazing. But what really struck me as so amazing with these people, so when I left the convention the first time, being brand new never had a drop, they had called people up on stage that had been on the leaderboard. So I said to my husband, I'm going to be on that leaderboard next year. And it wasn't even a year later, because this was November, and then we just had it last week. And I only made the leaderboard one time, but I was on stage with all these amazing people, and I'm walking up saying, I only did it once, and they're like, that's all it needs to do. And so with this company and things that I've done in the past, only the top people are ever recognized. So there I was with all these amazing people who are all praising me for getting on the leaderboard one time. So that to me was just like, they're just such genuine, and everybody wants everyone to succeed.
Yes, they do.
So it was very, very awesome to see that. So
absolutely, they do. That is awesome. So what's the feeling now? Your husband see, okay, this thing is working. Obviously, he had the faith and was supporting you before.
Yes.
How's he feel about it now?
Oh my gosh, he's so happy. I mean, he's writing also now too, which is cool. I mean, he works full time, but I said to him, well, I made the leaderboard once, and I told you I would get on the stage this time. I said, next year, I'm going to be one of the top 10 or one of the top 3. I'm going to get up there more than just one time.
Yeah.
And I know I'll do it. It's easy. It's easy to do. And it's fun, therapeutic.
That's the part, it reminds me of that Jim Rohn statement. It's easy to do and easy not to do.
True.
And so what I love about the people that, I asked to come on here, like yourself,
right,
is that you're saying, listen, I'm going to make it easy to do, because it really is easy to do, right?
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even if somebody's working a full-time job, like I find myself now sometimes if I don't complete what I want to do during the day, I can write while I'm watching TV, but I still had my free time all afternoon to go shopping or do whatever, doctor's appointments, errands. It's so flexible that you can just do it wherever and whenever.
It's so true. My husband had a talk with my sister because she's an RN. She has a very demanding job. And so she had her first drop come in. And it wasn't as much as she expected, because it's the first one, right?
Right.
I mean, my first one was like 65. The next one was like over 400. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
And yeah. So we know the first one is usually, and sister, you're 900 for the first time. That's amazing.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah. So, but we told her, but she's not writing as much because she has a very demanding job. But we told her, my husband said something that was very important. He said, listen, that like $80 that you received the first time, the rest is coming. That is more valuable than the one you're going into corporate, because guess what? The effort that it took you to do that, you were in your bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy. Yes, it it is just the easiest thing I've ever done and the best thing. I'm so glad that I finally pulled the trigger and said, tell me about this. I want to do it. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure glad you did too, because it has changed because of your yes. Think about a lot of people that you've shared that lives have changed.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I've have a couple of people under my team have small kids. They're not working at all. Some are working, and they just this extra income has just been such a blessing in their lives that they're just so grateful that I introduced it to them. That they could do what they want when they want and have some little extra money for themselves.
Absolutely. And ladies and gents, what Stacy's talking about is this is considered a letter. Because a lot of times when I first started, I'm thinking 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. No, we're talking about a 4 by 6 index card, like she said, with 2 sentences. Okay.
Right, two
Yeah.
sentences. It's yeah, 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to
Yeah.
write. It's funny how you'll start to develop your own system of
Yeah.
how you do it,
Yeah.
but it literally is 5 minutes from envelope, card, done.
Right. Right.
So,
Yes. Now, has there been like, were there some goals that you set for yourself that you've been able to accomplish because of the letter writing?
oh yeah, absolutely. So my husband and I sat down and we're like, okay, we're going to pay off, this, or this, and then we're putting away for a vacation and putting away for different things. So it's so awesome to be at that point now where we can just say, all right, what do you want to do with this now?
Nice. Nice. That is really nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you said you start telling your team, because some people do that. Now we started sharing out the gate, and mainly because of the fact that we knew there was a wait time. So that would be our pitch, right? To our
Right.
people, say, listen, well, you can go ahead, but once you see what's going on, remember, you can't escape the wait time.
Right.
So I would
Exactly.
say, do you want to start now? Do you want to start 6 months from now? Well, 6 months, what do you mean? Well,
Right.
because by the time my approximately 3 months pass, guess what? You still got to wait another three to get your job.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you definitely don't want to wait.
yeah,
That was my biggest regret was waiting. And then also at first slowing down and I'm like, okay, let me just trust the waters and then see how it goes. But don't just
yeah.
it's trust the process. And there's so many people that are involved in this, and it you just have to trust and wait, and it's amazing.
You do. But when you get in that Facebook group and you start seeing everything, see, it took me like 9 weeks in a day. So it's different for everyone for my first job.
Right.
But here's the thing, what's nice about it, the Facebook group, when you put people in there, it's like, come on, guys, 20,000 people can't all be lying.
Exactly. Exactly. That was exactly it. I mean, I felt a little better when I did it. I did it under, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And like I said, but still, and the funny thing is the community where everyone's congratulating everybody for drops, or, people will be saying, oh, drops are coming, or, you know, you'll hear from certain ones, oh, I got my first drop. And everybody in the community is just like, yay, good for you.
Yes.
It's really, really the most amazing community I've ever been
It
involved
is.
in. It
Same
really is.
here. Same here. I really see it because there's no judging. There's
No,
no. I like the letter. There's no letter shaming. Because I
no,
see
no.
people that get $3,000 drop, and then you see someone who gets $10, and everybody's
Right.
clapping the same.
Yep. Everybody's like, oh, that's okay, right? You got it. Yours is coming. Don't worry,
Yeah.
and you do. You just wait, and then you'll know it's your turn, and then you'll be soon after that. You'll be cheering everybody else on.
Yes. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So congratulations, and your husband's
Thank
writing
you.
now, and
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mother-in-law.
yeah.
So yeah, that's
It's
nice.
it's it's really great. It's been such a really blessing in our lives for sure.
Yes, 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 yes. So someone's watching right now and they're on the fence. And they're saying, what should I do? Should I wait? What would be your like advice, or something to tell them?
Don't wait. The faster that you start writing, the faster you'll get your drops, and you'll be starting to do whatever you need with your money, whether it's pay off bills or save for a vacation or whatnot. Just don't wait, because it'll be here before you know it. And waiting is only prolonging your drops.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
jump on in full speed ahead for sure.
Absolutely. Because I think about it, and you mentioned something just now, the wait time.
Yeah.
When we started in December, and we didn't start writing till the end of December because we were mostly building our network. But
Okay.
the thing is that when we look back now, I mean, heck, we're already through April pretty much. And it seemed
Right.
like you just said Happy New Year.
Right.
So the time goes by so quick. If you just put your head down and write, you don't even notice the time unless you just,
It
stuck on
really
it. But
does.
yeah,
It really does. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think if you go into it with the mindset knowing, 12 weeks, say, or whatnot, and you just know, and you just keep writing, and then the reward pays off tenfold.
oh yeah, oh yeah, big time,
Oh my
big
gosh.
time.
It's so exciting. It really is.
Yes. And so in closing, I know it's a different feeling now from when you
Uh-huh.
were working in corporate and stressed out.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I basically all of my I was having high blood pressure. I was having a lot of like anxiety and stress. It's all gone.
Yeah.
I know I did the right thing. I'm with the right people and I'm doing the right thing, and it's just such a good feeling. I don't dread Sunday nights anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
I used to
Absolutely.
hate Sunday nights, but now I'm like, oh, it's just another day. I get to sit
Yes.
and write tomorrow. So,
Yes. And this platform is absolutely, they're turning dreams into reality. And they have really just made a lot of people believers that you can really earn great, legitimate money from home.
right. And the best part of that is the owner of the company, she was a writer. And
That's right.
you don't get that. Yeah.
That's right.
CEOs generally don't do what
That's
us
right.
workers are doing. And yeah. So she's so genuine, and it's great to see, we duplicate what she did, and we all have success.
That is it. That is it. Well, Mary said, that's absolutely wonderful. What a great testimony.
Yeah.
So thank you so much,
You're
Stacy.
welcome.
I
Thank you for having
know that
me.
yes, people are going to be so impacted, and they're going to see
Yeah.
that it's possible for them
Oh my gosh.
to, yeah,
Right. Yeah,
to do that.
absolutely.
Yes.
Anyone can do it. It's awesome.
Yes. And congratulations in
Thank you.
advance for you getting at the top of the leaderboard.
That's right. I'm not going to only get on once this year.
That's right. That's
Yes, I got
right.
to manifest that, but I will be there.
I will see you on that board.
Yes, you'll be right with me, arm in arm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We enjoyed having you, and we look forward to talking to you in the near future.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Okay. You too.
Take
Okay.
care.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye now. All right, ladies and gents. So you got a chance to see that, a young lady who is making things happen. So excited. Does the index card have to be blank on both sides? Absolutely, Evelyn. Get into your back office, take the course. Everything is there. It tells you exactly what to do step by step. That's what I love about this platform is that it tells you exactly. They don't leave anything out. That's what you are participating in is a blueprint of exactly what to do. And so I'm excited. And if you are taking a look at this and said, okay, that's great, but what do I do now? What actually is it? How do I do this? What do I need to say? Listen, go to my page. Before I even go there, let me say this. Many of you are looking at this from Stacy's page. If you're on Stacy's page, please get back to her as she shares. She's sharing this out of love. She's going to continue to make that $6,000 a month, regardless if you get started or not, because you don't get paid on the letter writing, but there is an affiliate side that she can help you get started. Yes, we'll make a little bit on the affiliate side, but it doesn't interrupt what she's doing with the letters. So that's the great thing about it because she's sharing it from the heart. Make sure you contact her if you're seeing that from her page. Once again, there's someone sharing this and they're going to be sharing this on their page. Get back to them. Contact them because if they're sharing it, they're in the mix, they're doing it, they're writing letters, they're successful. If you're seeing this from my page, by all means, contact me. Let my husband and I lead you in the right direction and show you how to be successful in letter writing, because we want to make sure that you're getting a slice of this pie and you can do whatever you want to do with this money. Okay. A lot of us take this money and put our money to work elsewhere, right? So here's the thing I want you to know. If you're seeing this and you're like, listen, I want to know more, go on my page in the next 30 minutes, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am going to be doing a full-fledged presentation, a Zoom presentation. You are invited to attend that Zoom so that you can see start to finish exactly what this letter writing gig is all about. Okay, so once again, you heard from someone who is making things happen, who has put this to work. Make sure either you plug in the next 30 minutes and you don't come alone. Invite somebody to come and check this out. Why? Because people are earning additional dollars, cash flow from home. It absolutely works. And you know what's nice about it? It's for everybody. If you can write, you can win. Okay, that's what's nice about it. If you can write legibly, you can win here too. That's what I love about it. All right, so that was You Can Write, You Can Win, episode 12. We'll be back next week with episode 13, and you'll be able to see another testimony of someone who's making it happen. Once again, this is Testimony Thursday. My name is Ronette Turner Corley, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, happy writing. Okay, make sure you plug in tonight in the next 30 minutes. All right, talk to you soon. Bye for now.